bottom of the bat from Abel. But he's still there, significantly for Somerset. Very little in it in terms of the runs scored at this point. Doesn't really mean a lot in these finals, though. Oh, they've got in each other's way. But no harm done in the end. Just a single from the final ball of the 15th. That's the end of Crane. 1 for 27 for him. 91 for 6, 5 to go. Right, 60 from 30 is the time. You're Tom Abel, where you think, I've just got to tick along, just got to drag this game out, and then you've got to explode. That time is coming pretty soon.
Yeah, it's up to 2 a ball now. Some good death bowling to come as well.
Chris Wood, outstanding figures so far. Veteran, seems like he's been around for an eternity, doing exactly this role as well.
Yeah, 2 overs, 1 for 3. I mean, that's county championship figures. T20, you'll take that every time. Keep an eye out for Wheel as well. His last 2 overs in general are excellent. Thought it's something that Somerset got wrong. Marchant de Lange about 4 overs at the death on the bounce. Never easy to do. 4 at the death.
Still, he's just having a look. There'll be a bowler that he's going to fancy that one big over. Whether it's Green who looks to do it, but someone's got to do it. They've got to do it pretty soon.
Yeah, shorter boundary, probably just slightly from the Birmingham end. So maybe the next over from the Birmingham end. 2 right-handers going away from that Holly stand, heading towards this camera we're looking out of now.
Oh, that's an unnecessary throw. Desperate for that to have been out. Slow ball bouncer, watches it well.
You're getting nervous for Super Ken later this afternoon. I see you doing laps of the ground, waving to all the Kent fans. They were asking you whether you were bat or bowl. Nervy times for a Kent fan, eh?
I'm slightly nervous as well, because I saw down south, I think we're doommongers, aren't we? We always think the worst.
Last time Kent were in a final, Rob Key was still captain, still playing. Gave him a load of stick this year on the cricket show, calling himself Super Kent, so he's nervous today. If Super Kent can pull it off.
Give them stick. I gave whoever does the Twitter feed. I mean, seriously, they were getting
Come
beat.
on, Super Kent.
They were getting beat. It's like Joe Denley, LBW for none, hashtag Super Kent. I mean, what's he doing, the fella? No, pitched outside leg. It's coming. He's coming at some stage, is Abel, 96 for 6.
Look at those figures for Wood now. 3 overs, 1 for 7. Really knows his stuff in white ball cricket. Had some difficult times on and off the pitch. And he's performing again. As they all are, this is a good bowling outfit. They've underperformed with the bat at times, and their bowlers have done well.
Well, he's done well so far, has James Vince. He's captained well in both the quarter-final and then in this. Right, this is that 1 over now. Then he can go to his specialist death bowlers pretty much. Curry back into it.
Yeah, this is the over.
shot out into the leg side. Does well enough as well. Deep square legger back and fine leg. And he beats them both.
This is the over they got to go. Now, I know Curry's been getting wickets, but with Wood with one left and Wheel with two, heading towards the shorter boundary, they've got to try and get a 15-20 from this over from Curry.
.49 for Abel. Same shot again, just a single this time, but that'll take him through to 50. The captain is playing a lone hand here at the moment. He'll just raise his bat, but he knows the job is not done. He's still got to perform a miracle.
Yeah, if anything, he was slightly cross. He missed out there. Not worried about the personal milestone at all.
Out again, kick the stumps down. No, the side foot just misses.
Big right boot came out. Would he have been out? He just have got in.
Is right about that short boundary to the leg side, but all the field is back, so you've got to think he's going to be at leg stump. So he's going to give you a chance to say, go on then, try and hit it over us. That's gone a long, long way up, but it hasn't gone far enough. Should be taken. Is taken. That is an excellent bit of captaincy, excellent bit of bowling as well. Fuller to catch.
And you can sense from the reaction from the Hampshire players, they feel that that's the game. That was a big wicket. Abel just got to 50. He didn't celebrate his 50 because he realised that the next few deliveries needed to go. Good from Curry. Slower ball, cutter, and it went a long way up. And Fuller, who's already got a run out, now takes the catch. 7 down Somerset. Their skipper's gone for exactly 50. 103 on the board.
We've all had some time to think. To imagine a world where we have the tools to sell things that aren't just things. They mean something. Like a sunscreen made for melanated skin that actually blends in. Whatever you're selling, prove that things don't have to be the way they've always been. The world's been waiting for what you do.
Start looking, I've been in this position when you start watching the first semi-final, you try and start thinking about what we're going to do. We're going to bat or bowl. You might have gone the whole competition thinking, do you know what, we'll win the toss, we'll have a bowl. That's our stronger way to do it.
Runs on the board, and days like this get runs on the board, especially at Edgbaston where the pitch can get a bit tired and you can take pace off. That's the problem with doing flashes.
From 18 at the halfway stage, Somerset would have fancied their chances. They are nearly done. They need something very, very special. Craig Overton, though, he can hit a decent cricket ball.
I might calculation, wheel 2, wood 1, and that will do nicely. And they're two very good death bowlers as well, so the task is monumental for Overton and Green, up at over 15 runs and over.
Yeah, this bloke can bowl very, very good Yorkers. He's got that sort of skiddy, whippy arm action. Ball just comes through and it can get in the block hole. Sure, there's much to go. It might have been an inside nick onto the ground.
Yeah, it might well have been a noise and a nick, but it was so full. That's where he's really good, getting those Yorkers in. Toe of the bat. Possible to say, but no way was it a nick behind. If anything, it went into the ground. One nailed one Yorker nailed.
High on the bat. He's having a good day as a captain, not so much with the bat, but have a look. If they do go through, as they should do, they'll have more of a plan for this surface. Oh, James Vince. Big square leg's got a bit to do, can't get there. Smatterings of applause from the Somerset fans.
Did he mean to go away from Yorkers just to mix it up and roll his fingers down the side of the ball? I think he did. First length ball he's bowled has gone for 4. So he's trying not to be predictable and bowl 6 Yorkers. His variation went for a boundary.
All his protection really is out on that leg side. Oh, has he got enough of that? That sounded very good. And that just creeps over the cushion.
Just 8 behind at this stage now. 124 for 6. Hampshire were. Sir Wheel, after 2 good first deliveries, gets his Yorker on this time. And he's gone for 10 in his last 2.
Still a long way behind where Hampshire were at this stage, and then they still had that Delanger where they managed to give him some tap in the last couple. 124 Hampshire were for 6, 116 for 7. But if this is the over they get right, they creep up to parity.
Did he nick it that first ball of the over? Was it a toe end of the bat? Yeah, I think it was. Then it didn't bounce after that.
Is not out of the middle. Yeah, looked like the keeper had right to appeal there, really, or was right to appeal. He was the only one, Mike. No one else went up, did they? One ball left in this over. 34 from 13. Full toss hits straight into the Hollies. That is a massive over. All of a sudden, Somerset are back in this game.
4-6, 1-6 to end the over. Just going to check the height as well. It was a 6, but will it be a free hit? Was it over waist height? No, absolutely fine on that. Not fine for the fact that it's disappeared into the Hollies for 6. What's the equation now? 28 needed from the last 2.
Asking the question. And if he saw the replay, he wouldn't have bothered again because that was absolutely fine. Wasn't a great delivery. Right, coming in. Now you have the perfect bowler if you're Hampshire. Your most experienced death bowler, Chris Wood. Excellent figures so far. 3 overs, 1 for 8.
And it's that 19th over, isn't it? You always save your best for the 19th. Try and get a good one in here to release pressure for the last.
Oh, that's in the slot as well. How well is he
fans who were down and out 20 minutes ago are suddenly starting to believe again. They've gone 4-6-6-6 in the last 7 deliveries. Green with 25 from 14. This partnership now 26 from just 9. It's in the slot.
I love the slow-mos. Oh, that one, is that in the slot? Oh, does he pick him out? Can't quite get to it. He came forward, he then went back, couldn't judge it. Fuller, I reckon if he went straight to it, he could have caught that.
Yeah, he didn't pick it up straight away. It was hit flat again. I guess with the previous ones, he thought, whoa, is this going over my head? In fact, it was dying in front of him. He would have had to run in, dive forward. He did get his fingers underneath it. It goes down. Green gets back on strike.
Well, and he's bowling length on his pads, and he's just setting himself for that shot to the short boundary. Change of field. Right, we're going to have a different plan here. We've got deep mid-wicket, long on. The deep square leg has come up, and someone else has gone back on the offside. So there were 2 fielders out on the boundary, on the cover boundary.
Now, the field says hide it outside off stump. Bowl it to your field outside off. In fact, what they're trying to do is just say to Wood, you've got 2 or 3 options. Cover both bases. 2 out leg side, 2 out offside. There is the option of the scoop. 3rd man and fine leg up.
Yeah, has he got enough of that this time? Good fielding. 2 fielders out there. So that wide Yorker, as Nasser said, that's exactly what he did.
18 of 9.
18 from 9. We've seen 18 smashed in the last over before in T20 cricket, that is for sure.
Oh, low full toss. Ballistic when that went for 6. The Somerset fans, the Somerset players are starting to believe again. Another low full toss, another 6. Pressure starting to tell. Low full toss keeps disappearing. 35 from 17, Green.
Yeah, you think the over before this, we're 18. This has gone from 16 already, and there's 2 balls still to go. James Vince is just changing the field all the time. He is now under pressure for the first time. What's he going with here now? That man who was at deep cover now comes up. So there's only 1 man out on that cover boundary. This time doesn't get enough of it, kicks out long on. Tom Press is the man who takes the catch. This game is ebbing and flowing all the time.
Yeah, the change of plan worked. A slower, wider delivery, and Ben Green tried to go leg side again. He was deceived by the lack of pace. Still went leg side, nowhere near the middle of Green's bat. Taken. That's a really good innings. He's brought his side back into it. 35 from just 18. 139 for 8.
Well, he gets a massive round of applause as he walks in. That was an excellent knock. He nearly got him over the line, but he has put him within touching distance from nowhere.
Wickets now become an issue. Just 2 left. So Overton.
They get back for 2. So the first semi-final goes down to the last over. Somerset need 10 from 6.
Yeah, And he obviously backs Josh Davey because he could have easily just said, I'll take one and I'll leave 11 off the last. But no, you can have the first ball.
I don't think that's what he was doing. He looked like he was being smart and saying, do you know what, last ball of the over, I'll nudge one and I'll keep straight. Now they're going to be asking about what happens if there's a tie. And now me and Nasser will end up speaking to us and say what happens if there's a tie. Here we go, Mark Butcher. You say this, Nascon.
I knew that, Butch. You don't have to show me that phone. Now we're on camera. Don't pop in and show me the phone. I knew it was a count back and wickets and all that.
Right, who's going to bowl it?
Where are you going to bowl it? What's your go-to ball? Shall we be on the single for Davey? Shall extra cover, for example, come up on the one? Dots, priceless. What does Davey do? Just bat on ball, get a single over to you, Overton?
Flicked into the leg side, just be a single. And that's a better situation. Overton is now on strike. If you think back to that quarter-final, Notts got in real trouble because I think it was Fletcher who was smashing it, or one of the batsmen who was in for the last over could not get on strike.
All about pressure now. Can he nail his Yorker? Can Overton think smartly? And the fielding, the brilliant atmosphere, as there always is on finals day. The pressure of a high catch, pressure of a two in the deep.
Correction, it was Carter for Notts who couldn't get the strike. Overton now has it, 10 from 5. He is. Good Yorker. Success and failure. These balls are just creeping over the boundary. But that's all it needs to do. Right, 2 from 3.
So one would do it on wicket count back. So that's why the field comes in.
James Vince now, what do you do with the field? You've got to hedge your bets. Might have to have a couple of sweepers out for the big shot for a wicket if he goes for it. He thinks different. He brings everyone in. Just a flick off his pads, and from nowhere, Somerset, they are in the final.
What an incredible game. It went one way, then the other. Josh Davey, brilliant with the ball. Josh Davey, brilliant with the bat. What a finish we've had. What a start to finals day. Somerset fans, Somerset dugout have gone absolutely ballistic. The calmest men in the middle for them, Overton and Davey. scored off the last 22 balls. An opening batter would have been pleased with that clip for leg.
Well, Hampshire, they cannot believe it. That is what they've been doing to teams. They have come back from the dead and they have got them all the way to the semi-final. And the time they became favourite, that is when it all went wrong. And Somerset, their lower order batting, that is what has got them to the final.
More heartache, more semi-final heartache for Hampshire. I think that's 6 now here at Edgbaston. They've got to the semis and they've gone out, and they must have thought they had one foot in that final this evening. And that foot has been clipped away by Davey and Overton. Brilliant game, really good. Atmosphere is ever great. And we have our first finalists, and it'll be Somerset that get there. Thumbs up from Big Craig Overton.
As it so often is, you get on a pitch that is not straight. Fortunes that Gregory, the captain, and Somerset, the players, would have been on. You said it, Nas. What a start to finals day. Follow that, the rest. Well, it wasn't about the top order, but Tom Abel, his 50 from 35, that calming influence. He just hung in there. He tried to drag the game out, but when he went, he would have thought his side were gone for all money. But it is that 35 from just 18 from Green and 11 from 6 from Overton, and Davey the hero in the end, 11 from 3. That gets them home.
Well, Hampshire have always backed their bowling attack to protect a below-par score. They backed them today, and it was a really good start from Wood and Wheel. The spinners were excellent, Crane and Dawson, and they left it to Wood and Wheel to do it for them, and for once they couldn't deliver. They both went the distance at the death.
So 150 you thought never looked enough, but actually when you got halfway through that innings it looked more than enough until that lower order batting got together and finally Somerset are in the final.
Well, that is quite an extraordinary turnaround. Somerset looked dead and buried after the loss of their 4-day skipper Tom Abel. The score was 103 for 7, and there were just 20 balls left. 103 for 7 off 100 deliveries, 20 balls left, and somehow they managed to find another 48 runs by virtue of a brilliant bit of batting there at the end from Green. And then Josh Davey, what a day he's had.
It was a bizarre game, really, wasn't it? I think both sides will come away from that just scratching their heads. How did Hampshire get to 150 in the first place from where they were? Yeah. That crucial moment when the catch was taken, then it was a no ball, free hit, got Weatherly going, and then for a long time 150 looked enough. That out of form Somerset top order struggling, and then they came with a wet sail at the end. It was a bizarre game of cricket, but good fun.
I mean, Hampshire, I suppose you can go to the well once too often, don't score enough runs and then rely on your bowlers to win you a game with a below bar total. They just weren't up to it today. Some of that striking at the end was stunning stuff.
Well, from nowhere, and what we're seeing is that when you get 8 down and you're needing 10 and 12 and over, 8 down, so you have 10 and 11, you think they're absolutely useless. And they come in and go bang, bang, bat under the arm and walk off like the number 3s. Fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely magnificent finish. I mean, notable performances there. Tom Abel's 50 kept them in it when everything else looked lost.
Kept
through the middle.
Kept them in it. bit struggling at the top, one or two players out and Nick, and that just a little bit like Weatherly's innings just allowed Somerset to stay in the game, and then they came with that charge at the end. But I think both sides will feel, well, we can improve a lot on the level of performance. So at least Somerset going into the final will say, well, we won this game, but we really haven't played that well, and we think we can play 20. But we really haven't played that well, and we think we can play 20% better, and they may need to in the final.
We would marvel, the three of us would marvel, when you look at 60 for 5, you know, they're out of it. It doesn't faze these guys. Next one comes in, and they're just saying, no fear cricket. You were the first I ever heard say that, no fear. 60 for 5, what's the problem? I'll win the game. It's down to me now. They've not done 5. I'll win the game, and we're seeing it time and time again.
Terrific stuff. Well, it's been a pulsating finish to what was perhaps a low-key start to finals day, but the 19th one is living up to promise already. Now, time for the presentation with Ebony Rainford Brent.
Thanks, Butch. Yeah, I'm with James Vince, the losing cap.
Well, Joe Weatherly stood up and played an amazing knock, and a cameo from Chris Wood at the end gave us the score we felt we could defend. Amazing knock, and a cameo from Chris Wood at the end gave us the score we felt we could defend. And then all went to plan with the ball up until the last 3 or 4 overs, but it can be a cruel game, T20, that can happen. Those guys at the back end have won us plenty of games this year, so try and pump them up. They've done an outstanding job all year, as I say, and today wasn't to be our day.
If you look at the bowling innings, that feels like where it kind of came from. Where would you put your finger on the moment where the game really turned?
Not until right at the back end there. Obviously, we took wickets throughout, got the rate up on a fairly tough wicket, and would have taken that position going into the last 4 overs every day of the week. So we know fine margins at the end, and everyone bats deep these days. So we definitely didn't take our foot off the gas. We just didn't quite execute, and they played some good shots.
Looking at your campaign as a whole, there was a bit of a run which got you towards the quarter-final. How would you assess your overall T20 campaign this year?
Yeah, we came on leaps and bounds. I'm really proud of the guys at turning it around the way we did after, you know, the first 6 or 7 games, or even a few more, we were nowhere. And then to turn it around and get on the run we did, you know, we were winning games like Somerset that were in that position. So, you know, today, unfortunately, we come out on the wrong side, but throughout the competition, plenty to be proud of.
James, unlucky today. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you.
Right, now it's time for the winning captain of the first semi-final, Lewis. Saw a little sigh there. How are the emotions?
Yeah, all over the show, to be fair, but I mean, what a game to start our finals day. Thought both teams probably batted pretty poorly in general, and yeah, I mean, the last 3 overs there was pretty special to watch.
At the halfway stage, what did you think of the score? Did you think it was par and chaseable, or do you think it was under par?
Yeah, I thought they were under par. I thought we bowled really well. I think we didn't quite execute at the back end like we have done all year, and they probably got 15-20 more than they potentially should have. But yeah, I thought that they were still under par. I thought we did a really good job, and yeah, we obviously didn't get off to the best of starts with the bat, but yeah, thankfully we got over the line.
A word for Josh Davey, wickets up top, particularly closing it out nicely, and then obviously runs to get you over the line. You stood out today.
Yeah, absolutely. Sluggy can slip under the radar at times, but he's been phenomenal for us in all 3 formats of the game, and yeah, for him to be there at the end and see us over the line is a pretty special moment for him, and yeah, fingers crossed he's not batting in the final.
What do you make of the conditions, by the way? So you obviously got another game later today. What do you think is going to be vital in that 3rd game?
Yeah, I think the wicket was pretty good on the whole. I mean, it kind of held in the surface a little bit, but didn't really get off straight too much. But I think the final might be the best time for the batters on there with a little bit of dew. It might just skid on that a little bit more, but on the whole, it's pretty good surface.
And finally, what are you going to do in the next 2-3 hours? What are your team going to get up to?
I think it's going to be pretty individual. I might try and have a sleep, I think, try and get away from it, but yeah, kind of just wait and see, to be fair, and see what happens.
Thanks for your time. Good luck for the final later.
Thanks, Ed.
And of course, the player of the match to come through today with an outstanding performance, wickets with the ball, and then getting over the line. Just get you in front of that mic. How do you feel? You must be feeling great.
No, it's a bit of an emotional rollercoaster, really, that innings, but yeah, so happy for the guys to go over the line there in the end and use that momentum to carry on to the final. So,
Liz, how did you feel? Did you actually think it was possible, or did you think you were behind the
So, I mean, we've got a lot of batting in our side. We're about a long way down. Even Shani left to come in at the end there, could really clear the ropes. So, yeah, we're always confident that if we stayed within touching distance, we could get over the line. So, very pleasing, yeah.
You picked up wickets, some vital wickets today. What do you think is key bowling on this surface today?
Oh, I think just not being predictable. I think the slow balls are sticking in the wicket a little bit. So, yeah, just staying a little bit unpredictable and using that slower ball, I think.
Well, an excellent performance today. Good luck in the semi-final. Thanks for your time.
Thanks very much. Thank you.
Yeah, the smiling face of Josh Davey, and why wouldn't he be smiling? 4 for 34 in helping to restrict Hampshire Hawks to just 150. Joe Weatherly, for a long time there, looked as though he would be the recipient of the Man of the Match award, but it wasn't to be. His 71 in the end was in vain. Somerset 153 for 8, getting over the line thanks to Josh Davies' 11 from 3 deliveries in what was a frantic finish. Tom Abell's 50 kept them in the hunt. Ben Green offered a little bit of fireworks towards the end to really propel them towards the total, and in the end Somerset have won the first semi-final by 2 wickets. Well, the crowd are getting right into their work, as are the players of Kent and Sussex behind me. They will be coming up next.
Absolute rocket. Beautifully timed. Kent make their way back to final stage. Rashid Khan, welcome to the party. That's going to go all the way. Don't worry about that. That's well judged. Very well done. That'll be the end of it. Sussex are through the finals, Dave.
Broadcast of Vivo IPL 2021. Chennai Super Kings versus Mumbai Indians. Live on Willow. Powered by Toyota. Let's go places.
It's a 13-hour flight. That's not a weekend trip.
15 minutes.